everyone, welcome to my library. My name is Melissa, and today I have another book haul. This book haul is pretty special because a lot of the books I received from subscribers, and I just have to say thank you so much if you sent me something. I will be sure to shout you out. But yeah, so I'll leave links to anyone who sent me something in the description box below if you want to go see their lovely content. I'd love for you to check them out. So yes, I'll first start though with something that is not books, but it's bookish related because I found this at a bookstore and I just had to buy it. So it's a puzzle. It's this 1,000 piece puzzle and it's a rare bookstore. And I just think the detail in this is incredible. I'm so excited to do this. If you guys didn't know, I love puzzles. I'm a huge puzzler. I have one other library themed puzzle that I need to do as well. But yeah, I love doing book themed puzzles. That is my favorite, that theme. So yeah, I just thought I'd show you guys this beautiful puzzle. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm probably gonna listen to an audiobook as I do this. The ultimate experience. So yeah, there's this. Okay, so next I'll do my subscriber sent books or just friends, obviously. So the first one is Tori from Novel Life. She's an amazing fellow booktuber of mine. We have very similar tastes in that we love historical fiction and romance. And so we kind of have bumped elbows a little bit with recommending historical fiction books to each other that have a strong romance element to them. Actually, Tori even did a dedicated video on the subject of historical fiction recs for romance readers. If you guys are interested, I highly recommend it. Yeah, she added a lot of books there that I love myself too. So anyways, she sent me this. It's called Hearts of Resistance by Soraya M. Lane. And it says, at the height of World War II, 3 women must come together to fight for freedom, for the men they love, and for each other. So yeah, so it sounds very similar to me, kind of like Flight Girls, where there's strong female friendships at the center of the story, and then romances as well. And yeah, I know Tori has been recommending this to me a lot, and she thinks I'll love it, and finally just decided to send it my way. And so I'm so incredibly grateful to her, and I couldn't go without saying that. And she sent me a cute note as well. I mean, she went the extra mile. It was wrapped in pink gift wrap, and she also sent me a bookmark that's Outlander themed that I've been using as I've been reading The Fiery Cross. So yeah, Tori, I'm already using it. But okay, so yeah, here's the first book. Okay, so then the next, how many books did she send me? Oh my goodness, 6 books. So she is Bookish Grandma on Instagram, and she's Perfume Girl on YouTube, if you see her in the comments or anything. But she messaged me on Instagram telling me she had a couple vintage books to send my way. And anyways, I was so grateful for them, and I'm so excited about them. So I'll show you guys too, since you guys know I love vintage books. I love any genre of vintage books. I don't care. And these ones specifically, I'm just super excited about. So she sent me, let's see if I can organize this by author, because I know she sent me 3 of the same author. Okay, so here's the first 3. They're all Phyllis A. Whitney, who is a gothic romance novel writer. So yeah, so this is Hunter's Green by Phyllis Whitney, A. Whitney. And this cover is amazing. It kind of reminds me of Harry Potter, the first one. You know how they're playing that giant wizard's chess game? Yeah, totally reminds me of that. It's got red sprayed edges, and it says, a summons from Athmore was the last thing Eve expected. She had run away from the brooding mansion and her ruined marriage 2 years ago. Now a letter and her own uncertain heart compelled her to return. There was no warning. She could have not known that the invitation was not innocent, that she was a pawn in a very deadly game, a game of love and terror and greed, a game she could not hope to win alone. Was there someone she could trust? Was there? This sounds like a perfect October, like gothic-y book to read, in my opinion. Some summons from some mansion that she has to go back to. So there's this book. Okay, the next book is called Domino by Phyllis Whitney. This cover is everything. I love it. I love the foxy gray hair going on here. Amazing. And then look at the back. I am in love. This book is beautiful. And it's kind of got the gold raised lettering here. So it says, she had run screaming from that house as a child, and ever since that night, Lori Morgan had been unable to remember the blind terror that drove her into the darkness. It was frightening to have her whole childhood erased from memory, but the real horror started when she began to remember. It's kind of interesting because that plot sounds pretty eerie and scary, but this cover definitely gives me romance vibes. So yeah, I'm not sure exactly how those two blend in together in this book, but yeah, I know for sure she told me that she loves Phyllis Whitney and highly recommends her books. So there's this one. And then the next Phyllis Whitney is called Sky Cameron. And this is another gothic, like romantic suspense book. This is the back. It's the same picture as the front. But this one says, they said Justin Law had been in prison, that he was a murderer and worse. But from the moment lovely Sky Cameron caught her first glimpse of this big, intense, vibrant man, her heart began to stir wildly. Set in the exotic world of old New Orleans, Sky Cameron is an entertaining novel of love and intrigue of a young girl who defies the world she knows for a love she dare not admit. That sounds so good. I love that. And I love that it's set in New Orleans. That's awesome. New Orleans, New Orleans. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. I'm not from there, so I know I'm pronouncing it wrong, but it says, a story, one of the quotes says, a story ripe with the adventures of a flaming-haired heroine who is at least kissing kin to Scarlett O'Hara. Done. Awesome. Okay, so then the next three books she sent me, one of them is also a like gothic romantic suspense, and this one is called Moonraker's Bride by Madeline Brent. And this one says, the stranger she married that night was gone by morning, but she could never forget she was Moonraker's bride. Set against the exotic backdrop of China and England at the turn of the century, this breathtaking novel unfolds a fascinating tale of love, intrigue, and mystery of a man who trusted no one and a woman who trusted too much. This is a thicker book, and it sounds really good. I'm really excited. I think I was looking these up on Goodreads, and I think this one is really, really highly rated. So let me know if you've heard of this author. I know, so it says in the best-selling tradition of Victoria Holt, and I know I've heard of Victoria Holt before. So yeah, so there's this one. The next one is a historical romance, and it's The Smile of the Stranger by Joan Aiken. And this one's also gothic as well. So yeah, it sounds really good. It says, when danger forces expatriate English gentlewoman Juliana Paget to flee her home in Italy, she embarks on a journey full of thrilling adventure. Nothing could have prepared her for outwitting a French mob, crossing the channel in a hot air balloon, or fending off the advances of the fascinating Count Welker. Wow, lots of adventure happening in this one. So yeah, there's this one. Okay, the last one, I am so flattered that she sent my way because she knows I love this author. And you can guess from the back of the book who it is. If you know, you know. But that is Laverle Spencer, and it's That Camden Summer. And I believe this is the last book that Laverle Spencer wrote. She actually retired from writing after a time because she had completed whatever she wanted to accomplish, and so then she was done, unfortunately. But yeah, I think this is the last book she wrote, and it is a contemporary romance. And it's about mature lovers. The heart has a mind of its own. Mature lovers battle a town hypocrisy in Laverell Spencer's newest and finest novel. So yeah, super excited to add this to my Laverell Spencer collection. We're going to be working through all of her novels. Did you see Butter just run past me? They're playing and she's making a circle around me. But anyways, yeah, so this is another book to add to Laverell Spencer, and yeah, we're reading her kind of in order in a Discord group. And if you are curious and want to join, let me know and I can send you the link to it. We'd love to have you join us. They're starting a contemporary novel. I can't remember what it's called, but it's her first contemporary novel. And then the next book we're going to be reading, I'm going to join in on, and that is Hummingbird. So anyways, if you guys want to join, let me know. But yeah, here's the final book that she sent me. So sweet. So yeah, those are my gifted books sent my way. I can't thank you guys enough. Seriously, so grateful. And so yeah, there's that. So then now on to the books I bought. So I'll show you this huge lot and then I'll get to the individuals. But anyways, I alluded to the fact that I ended up bidding on a series that I'm highly anticipating and I want to read ASAP. And I ended up winning this. I said 20 bucks on my my recent video, but actually I ended up winning it for $15. So it's even cheaper, and it was 8 books, which is insane. And I specifically wanted this lot that I ordered. If you can't tell, it's the Kent Family Chronicles series by John Jakes. So I specifically ordered these books because I saw that all of them had most of them had the old blue sprayed edges, and I am dying for those. I would love to find all of the books in blue sprayed edges. So anyways, I decided to, I've seen, obviously there's a million lots of this series on eBay or Facebook Marketplace, but when I saw this one that had all of the old school edges, I just decided I'd go for it and got it for super cheap for all these books. So I'll just show them really quickly. I already own the first one in a different, pretty much better edition of, but that's okay. So yeah, this is The Bastard. This will be the first book I read. My plan is to read Heaven and Hell. That's my next read after I finish The Fiery Cross. And I'll read Heaven and Hell by John Jakes, which is the third book in his Civil War trilogy, and then start on these ones. So The Bastard is next. And so then the next book in the series is The Rebels. And I'll show the covers because they're really cool. They're really unique. Okay, so that one's volume 2. The Seekers is volume 3. And if you didn't know, these follow, each book I believe follows a new generation, if I'm not mistaken, and kind of a new time period in America's history. So The Bastard starts in the American Revolution and it goes from there. So if you're curious, so that's number 3. Number 4, The Furies. It always has a couple embracing on the front. I think is kind of cool. So yeah, here's this one. The next one is The Titans. This one looks Civil War themed for sure. So yeah, here's this one. The Warriors. This one is huge. I think this is, no. The next book is the thickest book in the series. But here's this one. They get thicker and thicker. Okay. The next one is The Lawless. I've hauled this book before, actually. If you guys were here for when I did my first historical fiction mystery box that I unboxed, it was a complete disaster, but it was really fun to film. But the one book I did get excited, well, there were like 3 books that I got excited about in that box. And one of them was this book because I knew this series. But yeah, this is a way better edition, so I'm keeping this one. So yeah, this is The Lawless. And it's the thickest book for sure. Okay, and then the last book in the series is The Americans. So yeah, that is the 8-book series I ended up buying on eBay. Super excited to own these, and we'll have to find room for them on my shelves. No idea where. We'll see. Same with all these books, honestly, but it's a good problem to have. Okay, so then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more books to show you that I purchased myself very cheaply. These are all used books. But okay, so the next book I bought is, this was an impulse buy, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna love it, so we'll see how it goes. But I just love the cover, and it just sounded really good, so whatever. It's Mavreen, I think is how you say it. Not sure. I went to a new used bookstore to me in my area. It was like a 45-minute drive. It was really far, but this is one of the books I spotted in this little bookstore, and I thought it looked really good. It says, "The most irresistible heroine since Scarlett O'Hara." I don't know if I would call Scarlett irresistible. Like, she's got a lot of problems, and like not a lot of people love her. So that's an interesting adjective to describe Scarlett O'Hara and compare her to this heroine, but whatever. And it says, "A tumultuous novel aflame with scorching passions and all-conquering love," by Claire Lorimer. And it says, "Illegitimate daughter of an English aristocrat and a prim young governess, Mavreen had fiery beauty, intelligence, and these are a lot of big words, and a tempestuous spirit no man could subdue. Stubborn in loyalty, passionate in love, her turbulent romance with a handsome French nobleman would take her from the high seas to every capital of Europe before it reached its triumphant consummation." Wow. I'm pretty proud of myself for reading all of that. Oh my goodness. So yeah, I guess it's set in France, and then also in other capitals of Europe. And yeah, not really sure, but I mean, it's thick and sounds pretty good. Let me know if you guys have even heard of this book. I don't think a lot of people have. Okay, so the next book, I will show you guys the 4 books I got from the used bookstore I'm obsessed with near me. It's called Book Maze, and anyways, they have a huge romance selection. It's insane. So I got these there, and then there's a couple books I got as I went on my trip to Utah. So I'll start with these 4 books. The first one is Mere Mortals by Neil Raven. And check this step back out, you guys. I am so obsessed with it. So if you can't tell, this is a doctor and nurse romance. It's contemporary, actually. So it's about a doctor named, it says, "At Whipple, doctors and nurses battle to keep patients from checking into the ECU, Eternal Care Unit. Sometimes they battle each other, sometimes they even fall in love." So yeah, it's about Dr. Brendan O'Brien and Nurse Carolyn Bates, and they fall in love, and I guess it's just their huge love story. It kind of sounds a little bit like there's some magical realism going on. Eternal Care Unit, I'm not really sure what that's about, but yeah, so I had to pick this up. When I saw that step back and I saw that it was a doctor hero, that's my favorite thing. So yeah, so I picked this up. I'm excited about it. Never heard of it, but yeah, a random pick. Okay, the next book, I have been on the hunt for some Catherine Cookson books. She just sounds like an author I'm really gonna enjoy. I think I was recommended her by somebody in the comments. She writes really good, kind of old school romances, very similar to Laverne Spencer from what I understand. So yeah, this is Catherine Cookson writing as Catherine Marchant, and it's called Miss Martha Mary Crawford. check her out. Yes, blue sprayed edges. I'm dead. And then let's see, I'll read the back of it for you. So it says, "Who was the young woman whose eyes burned into his with a fierce and steady hatred? His practiced eye saw a woman too young to have shouldered the burden and shame she had, a woman whom fear and bitterness had driven to the brink. She returned his gaze, seeing only the brutal, callous man who was enjoying the tawdry favors of her late father's mistress. And yet these two proud, deeply scarred people would soon be overwhelmed by a love stronger than either of them, by an epic struggle of wills and passion." It sounds amazing. I'm so down for that. So yeah, here's the back. Really pretty too. So this book is gorgeous. I'm super excited. This will be the first Catherine Cookson I own and read. Let me know if there's any others you guys recommend. But yeah, excited about this one for sure. I keep going over here, but I need to focus on the books in front of me. Okay, so the next two books are by the same author, and it is an author I am obsessed with now based on the fact that I loved her previous book I just read, called Heart of the West by Penelope Williamson. She has other books, so I bought two more of her books. One is A Wild Yearning, and the other is Once in a Blue Moon. They both have incredible stepbacks as well. So let me show you guys them. So yeah, this one seems very Washington to me. Where is this set? Oh, I'm like, it's Washington. It's Maine. That's funny. Anyways, so this book is, it says, "Wanted, wife for God-fearing farmer with 2 children, hard work, frontier life." And guess what, guys? He's a doctor. So yeah, perfect. I'm so excited. It sounds amazing. And yeah, I'm so down for this story. I guess he obviously does a mail order bride, gets her, and they have to learn how to face the frontier together. I don't know why I would call Maine the frontier. I don't really interpret that as the frontier, but whatever. So yeah, here's the first Penelope Williamson. Okay, the second one is called Once in a Blue Moon, and here is the step back. Oh, I'm so obsessed with this one. I love it. I love the seascape in the background. Amazing. So this one says, I'll just read the back of this one because I think it sounds super good. "Once on a wild and windswept moor, those who knew spoke of the infamous Trelawney men in hushed, shocked whispers. But to flame-haired Jessalyn Letty, wild, captivating child of the storm-tossed Cornish moors, McGaddy Trelawney was the most fascinating man she had ever met. Few knew of the dream that burned in McGaddy's secret soul, a dream destined to change the world. But Jessalyn knew and shared his passion. Only she believed in his miraculous vision and in the love he awoke in her hungry, yearning heart." Sounds so good. I don't know really what the dream that this hero has that's secret, but yeah, it sounds very, very like gothic and like tumultuous to me. I don't know. Maybe it's just this step back that gives me those vibes too, but yeah, so I picked this one up as well. I cannot wait to read more Penelope Williamson. I was blown away by her writing in Heart of the West. So yeah, I'm excited to kind of dive into more of her works and see how it goes. So let me know if you guys have read these two, or if you read Heart of the West. Here's some more recommendations for you. Okay, so 3 more books. These are the 3 books I got in Utah when I visited my family. They are so kind and so, they just know me so well. I literally got off the airplane and into the car, and as I was entering the car, my mom goes, "Do you want to go to a book sale?" And we drove straight from the airport there because it was closing an hour after I landed. And anyways, I scoured the shelves, and I also went to my favorite bookstore ever called Pioneer Book it's in Provo, Utah. and the outside is incredible. It's like this mural of classic books, and they have an arch of bricks that goes over their door. Anyways, it's beautiful. I love it. And I also went there as well. This was literally over a weekend. It was very book themed, but amazing. And so, yeah, I found one book at that book sale and then 2 books at the bookstore. So the book that I got at the book sale is called Flight of the Falcon by Wilbur Smith. I was initially drawn in by this cover. I love it. I think it is so cool and really intrigues me to want to know more about what this story is, especially with this main female heroine here holding a gun and looking like she owns the world. Okay, so this is a book about a woman named Robin Ballantyne who journeys to the Kalahari Desert in Africa. And she ends up going there to find her brother or something. Like her brother goes on a uncharted journey or something there, and then she goes and tries to find him. And she also gets swept away by a guide who helps her. And that is apparently the story. I'm not really sure. It says, for Robin, it leads to one man whom she loves but knows she must not, and to another whom she cannot love but knows she must. Ooh, sounds really good. It reminds me of Australia, the one that it's a movie starring Hugh Jackman and Nicole Kidman. It is an amazing, epic story. If you guys have not seen that movie, I highly recommend. It kind of gives me those vibes for some reason. But yeah, so I picked this up and it's nice and thick too. So yeah, so there's this one. Set in Africa. I don't know if I have any books set in Africa. So that's also very, very unique. And I'm excited about it. So the next book the next 2 books are books I got at Pioneer Book, like I said. I went there with my sister and my mom, and it was great. So the first book that I got there is Peachtree Road by Anne Rivers Siddons. So this author has recently been on my radar because of Becca from Hicks Picks Books, who is an amazing booktuber. I love her content. I'll link her down below. You guys should check her out. I watch all of her videos. She just has such a warm and welcoming personality. And anyways, so she had Anne Rivers sitting on her shelves, and I asked her about her books that I saw in the background and asked her if she'd read them, and she said no, but it gave her the motivation to want to try to read her in a recent try a chapter, I think is what she did it for. But anyways, watching all that, I was like, okay, well, I gotta try her now too. So she's a very famous Southern novelist, and so this one is set in the South as well, obviously. It says, Lucy Bondurant Chastain Venable is a beautiful burning flame of a woman of great passion and terrible need. Shepherd Gibbs Bondurant III, Lucy's cousin and lifelong confidant, is a man turned recluse because of his own fatal feelings. Their mesmerizing story begins on the childhood day when Lucy comes to live with Shep's family in the great house on Peachtree Road. Set in one of the South's most elite societies, here is a novel that chronicles the turbulent changes of a great city and gives us the unforgettable story of the astonishing love and hate between one woman and one man. I am so down. Like that sounds so good to me. Some sort of like very star-crossed lovers, I guess. I don't really know what the situation is, but also set in Atlanta. And from what I know, people say that this is basically a love letter to Atlanta. And so I've always been fascinated with Southern fiction. It's just a random niche for me that I think is really cool. And so, yeah, so I am really excited about this book. Let me know if you've read it. I loved this vintagey kind of cover, old school cover. So yeah, I finally just decided to pick it up. So I actually asked my twin sister, Meg. I had a couple books that I was trying to decide between, and I had her read the back and choose one for me, and she chose this one. She was like, this sounds really good and something you really like. So yeah, so she picked this out. Okay, so guys, this is the last book in this freaking huge haul that's just all splayed out over here. But the last book is an addition to a series that I'm starting to collect because I know I want to read as well. And that is, this is Warlagan, part of the Poldark series, and it's by Winston Graham. So I'm collecting the TV tie-in editions. I just think they're cool. I like picturing the characters, what they look like in the TV series. So I know a lot of people don't like collecting media tie-in editions of things, but I actually do. Like, if you can't tell, this Outlander collection I have going here is also the TV tie-in edition. I have some other random editions that I have tie-ins for, but yeah, so this is a really thick book. Can you guys believe I only had a backpack when I traveled to Utah, and I ended up packing these. What else did I pack? Oh yeah, and this. I had these 3 giant books and the Fiery Cross to take home, and I did it. So high five to me. But yeah, so I'm gonna add this to my collection. My Poldark collection is actually right here, so I gotta find room on my shelf on the end here to add this to it. But yeah, so excited to have this one as well. But oh my goodness, you guys, that is my haul for today. I have been posting a lot of hauls recently, I know, but it hasn't been for lack of trying not to buy too many books. I really am trying. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was really fun to film, and please let me know if there's any books you're excited to also read, or if there's any that you added to your TBR, or that you have read and you highly recommend me to start with. I would love to hear that. And with all that being said, please like and comment. I reply to every single comment. And please subscribe if you want to see more from me. And I will see you guys in another video. Bye!